Everyone thinks Stego is just a slow, defensive wall, good for soaking up damage. They see its massive frame and immediately stick it on objective defense. And they are completely wrong. For too long, the community has slept on a mech with some of the highest damage potential in the game. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why that is. I'll show you how to use its insane firepower and clever team synergies to become an absolute menace that can turn the tide of a match and carry your team to victory. Forget what you think you know. It's time to learn the truth about Stego. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. Stego is slow. It's an ultra-heavy attacker, and it moves exactly like one. You aren't going to be zipping across the map or executing slick flanking maneuvers. This slowness is the #1 reason people pilot it incorrectly. They get nervous. They see the lack of mobility as a pure weakness. So they hang back, throw up their shield, and just pray for the best. They become a stationary target, a big, predictable turret just waiting to be outmaneuvered and systematically dismantled. Playing passively is the fastest way back to the respawn screen. It makes you an easy meal for fast brawlers like a Welkin or a Panther, who can simply walk around you, completely ignoring your defenses. It gives snipers like Aquila free, uncontested shots on your exposed frame. Playing Stego like a timid defender isn't a failure of mech. It's a failure of the mindset. You've been taught to fear its weakness when you should be playing to its overwhelming strength. The solution is to flip the entire script. Stego doesn't win by reacting to the enemy. It wins by dictating the entire pace of the fight. Its true power comes from incredible area denial and devastating, sustained firepower. Your goal isn't to chase enemies, but to make them come to you, right into your pre-made kill box. You're not a wall, you're a fortress. An offensive artillery platform that stakes a claim on a piece of territory and erases anyone foolish enough to challenge it. You have to stop thinking about how to survive and start thinking about how to dominate. Every single one of Stego's abilities is designed to control space and unleash a ridiculous amount of punishment. You will learn to lock down power positions, control critical sightlines, and funnel your opponents into a meat grinder of explosive rockets. Who cares about mobility when the enemy has nowhere safe to run? To truly master this aggressive style, you need to relearn your kit. Forget the defensive descriptions in the hangar. These are all offensive weapons designed for annihilation. First, your primary and secondary fire, the rocket pods. Your main fire unleashes a steady stream of heavy rockets for constant pressure, while your alternate fire launches a quick 6-rocket salvo for burst damage. The damage from these alone is immense and can shred armor or suppress multiple targets at once. But that's just the baseline. The absolute core of your game plan is turret form. Hitting this ability does make you stationary, but in return, it deploys a massive frontal stasis field that blocks incoming fire and dramatically boosts your lock-on range, fire rate, and reload speed. This is a defensive shield. It's your siege mode. This is how you take over a section of the map. You plant this down and dare the enemy team to try and push you. Next is the jamming haze diffuser. Most players treat this as a panic button when they're trying to escape. That is a massive mistake. This ability is a strategic, offensive tool. It creates a wide smoke screen that makes you and any allies inside untargetable by enemy lock-ons. You don't just use this to run away. You use it to advance. Pop the smoke to cross a dangerous open field. Set up your turret and start blasting from your newly fortified position. Use it to cover a retreating teammate or to completely block a sniper's line of sight. It's an area denial tool that gives you control over when and where the fight happens. Finally, your ultimate micro-missile. This ability launches a massive swarm of 36 missiles that blanket a target area, dealing catastrophic blast damage to up to 6 targets. It boasts an extremely long range, allowing you to break up enemy formations from afar or wipe out a group of damaged targets from a position of complete safety. This is the final piece of the puzzle, turning your area control into total battlefield annihilation. So, how does this all come together in a real match? Here's the gameplay loop that will have you consistently topping the damage charts. Your first and most important step is positioning. Before a fight even begins, you need to identify your power position. You're looking for high ground with long sight lines and This is critical, hard cover for your back and sides, like a large building or a sheer cliff wall. This natural cover mitigates your greatest weakness, getting flanked. By putting your back to a wall, you force the enemy to approach you from front, straight into your shield and a hailstorm of rockets. Once you're set up, step 2 is area denial. This is where you become the unwavering anchor for your team. Deploy turret form. Your huge shield now controls a massive chunk of the map. Enemies cannot push through it without taking heavy, sustained fire. Use your jamming haze to block off alternate routes, or to give yourself cover if you start taking too much heat from a specific angle. You are actively creating a kill zone, a space where you hold all the cards. The final step is to bring the pain. As enemies are funneled toward you or forced out of cover by your sheer presence, you open up, use your rapid-fire rockets to soften them up, then launch your micro-missile ultimate into the heart of their formation. And remember to work with your squad. Your shield provides perfect cover for other damage dealers and supports the play around. A Stego that has successfully established a kill box is one of the most intimidating sights in Mecha Break. You become the center of the fight, and the enemy team is left with 2 choices: back off and surrender the objective, or push in and get deleted. If you're finding this guide helpful and you're ready to start climbing those leaderboards, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down strategies and builds for every mech every week, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. No mech is an island, and a truly dominant Stego pilot knows how to leverage their team and pick their fights. This aggressive, stationary playstyle creates powerful synergies, but also has clear counters. Let's start with your best friends on the battlefield. Support mechs, especially Pinaka, are Stego's greatest asset. Pinaka can provide constant healing, and even drop cover to protect your exposed sides. A support like Lumini is also invaluable, keeping your massive health pool topped off while you're drawing fire in turret form. You also work incredibly well with another heavy tank, like Tricera. Together, you can create a nearly unbreakable front line, locking down an objective completely. Your job is to be the anchor, creating a safe zone for your allies to operate from. Now for the threats. Your biggest nightmare is a coordinated melee brawler. Mechs like Welkin and Panther are designed to close the distance and bypass your frontal shield. They will be your top priority target. Blast them before they can get close. Fast-moving aerial mechs like Sky Raider can also be a problem, as they can fly over your cover and attack your exposed rear. Finally, be wary of snipers like Aquila and Narukami. While your jamming haze can disrupt their lock-ons, a skilled sniper can still manually aim and hit your stationary frame. If a sniper has a clear line of sight, you must reposition. The key is to force engagements on your terms, in positions where your weaknesses are covered and your strengths are overwhelming. Once you master the core gameplay, you can start fine-tuning your build with mods. While customization options aren't as deep as in some other mech games, you can earn mods from supply crates to tweak your performance. Focus on anything that enhances Stego's inherent strengths. Increased health, faster shield regeneration, or boosted missile damage. You're a titan of health and firepower, so lean into that identity. An advanced technique to master is shield management. You need to learn the rhythm of your stasis field. Don't be afraid to let it soak a massive burst of damage, like an enemy ultimate, right before it breaks. But remember, the shield only recharges once you deactivate turret form. Knowing the timing, when to drop the shield to let it recharge versus when to let it absorb a final, fatal blow for the team, is what separates the good Stego players from the great ones. Another pro tip is to use your micro-missiles for more than just securing kills. Firing a volley onto a contested objective or a known sniper's perch can force the entire enemy team to scatter, even if you don't kill anyone. This creates a massive amount of space and chaos for your flankers and brawlers to capitalize on. Remember, you're not just a damage dealer. You're a battlefield controller. The idea of Stego being a slow, passive defender is simply an outdated myth. It's a misconception born from pilots who saw its low mobility and failed to see its absolutely devastating potential. Stego is an offensive powerhouse, a zone-controlling monster that can carry games through sheer, overwhelming firepower. So stop hiding with Stego. Stop playing scared. Push forward. Claim your ground, find that power position, and let the rockets fly. The next time you lock in this ultra-heavy attacker, remember its real job. Not to merely survive the battle, but to dictate its entire flow. Now, get out there, try these strategies, and let me know in the comments what your new damage record is. I'll see you on the battlefield.